Hello, before we continue, here's a quick update. What you're watching is less than 10% of the war. We can't share everything here due to community guidelines. If you want to watch raw, unfiltered, and uncensored war footage, join our Telegram channel. The link is in the description and the comments section. The morning silence shatters in the Pokrovsk direction. Ukrainian special forces are moving cautiously toward their defensive positions when suddenly, a distinct buzzing sound cuts through the air. Every soldier knows that sound. It's the unmistakable whine of a Russian FPV drone closing in for the kill. Time slows down. One fighter reacts instantly, raising his weapon. The drone is fast, but he's faster. A burst of gunfire erupts. Direct hit. The drone spirals out of control and crashes just meters away from their position. That split-second reaction just saved their lives. This is Ukrainian courage. This is Ukrainian skill. This is why they continue to defend their homeland against overwhelming odds. But this is just the beginning of what happened in the last 48 hours, because deep behind enemy lines, Ukrainian FP-2 UAVs were already airborne on a critical mission, striking at the heart of the Russian war machine. Their targets: strategic infrastructure that keeps the invading forces operational, the oil depot, a vital supply point feeding the Russian occupation, the base of the 92nd River Boat Brigade, a key naval asset used to support attacks on Ukrainian territory, the Melitopol and Molochansk substations, power grids feeding occupied Ukrainian lands, and the city of Rovenki in the temporarily occupied Luhansk region. One by one, these UAVs found their marks with surgical precision. Massive explosions lighting up the night sky, secondary detonations as fuel reserves ignited. The footage is devastating, and it shows the world that Ukraine has not given up, will not give up, and continues to strike back against the aggressor. How effective do you think these deep strikes are in disrupting Russian logistics and bringing liberation closer? Drop your analysis in the comments below. Now we're moving to one of the most intense combat zones, Stepnogorsk, Zaporizhia Oblast, and what you're about to see is Ukrainian intelligence officers showing the world how defenders of freedom fight in the heart of battle. The streets bear the scars of Russian aggression. Buildings are reduced to skeletal remains by Russian artillery, but Ukrainian forces have not abandoned their positions. Russian infantry has tried to take these structures, turning them into fortified strongpoints, but they didn't count on Ukrainian ingenuity and determination. As Ukrainian soldiers approach a building occupied by Russian invaders, but they're not going in for a suicidal room-to-room fight. Instead, they're carrying something powerful, a TM-62 anti-tank mine, one of the most devastating explosive devices in the Ukrainian arsenal. They place it strategically at the building's foundation. The soldiers pull back to a safe distance. 3, 2, 1. The explosion is massive. The entire structure collapses in on itself. Dust and debris fill the street. The Russian occupiers inside never knew what hit them, but the operation isn't over because at 1:29, Ukrainian forces employ the same brilliant tactic again. Another building occupied by Russian forces. Another TM-62 mine. Another devastating collapse burying the invaders under tons of rubble. This is Ukrainian innovation. This is how defenders fight smarter, not harder. Think about the tactical brilliance here. Why risk Ukrainian lives in close quarters combat when you can eliminate the enemy position entirely while keeping your soldiers safe? No room-to-room clearing. No casualties from Russian ambushes. Just complete destruction of the occupier's strongpoint. And this represents Ukrainian military evolution, learning and adapting to protect their soldiers while maximizing damage to the invading forces. In Kazarevichi village, Kyiv region, a Ukrainian reconnaissance drone hovers over an industrial complex. The camera is steady, capturing every detail of Ukrainian artillery precision. On the ground below, the aftermath of a devastating Ukrainian artillery barrage is still unfolding. Russian vehicles, armored personnel carriers, supply trucks, military equipment are engulfed in flames. Black smoke billows into the sky, marking another Ukrainian victory. You can see the incredible precision of the Ukrainian artillery crews. Each strike calculated, each target identified and destroyed. This wasn't random shelling like the Russians do to civilian areas. This was a coordinated Ukrainian strike on a Russian logistics hub with pinpoint accuracy. The Enterprise grounds are littered with burning Russian wreckage. The invaders' ability to resupply and reinforce their frontline units has been severely compromised. Count the Russian vehicles in the footage. How many do you see burning? 5, 10, more. Every single one represents a loss the Russian military can't easily replace, another blow to Putin's war machine, another step closer to Ukrainian victory. And if you want to see more uncensored raw footage like this, real-time battlefield updates, and in-depth tactical analysis of Ukrainian operations, join our Telegram group where we share everything without restrictions. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments. What we're witnessing across all these operations is Ukrainian military excellence in action. The incident in Pokrovsk shows us that Ukrainian soldiers are not just brave, they're skilled, alert, and capable of defeating Russian technology with quick thinking and marksmanship. That fighter who shot down the incoming Russian FPV drone demonstrated the kind of situational awareness and reaction time that separates Ukrainian defenders from Russian conscripts. This is why Ukraine continues to hold its ground against a numerically superior enemy. The deep strikes on Russian infrastructure, the oil depot, the naval base, the power substations, these aren't just tactical victories. They're strategic hammer blows designed to cripple the Russian military's ability to sustain their illegal war of aggression. Every liter of Russian fuel that goes up in flames is fuel that won't reach the front lines. Every power grid knocked offline is a disruption to Russian command and control. The street fighting in Stepnogorsk reveals Ukrainian tactical evolution that military analysts worldwide are studying with admiration. Ukrainian soldiers have turned urban combat on its head. Instead of sending precious Ukrainian soldiers into buildings to clear them room by room, Ukrainian forces are simply bringing the buildings down on top of the Russian occupiers. This is efficient. This is brilliant. Hope you join our Telegram group to stay updated on the war.